Okay, folks, we are on the air. This is episode 35. We transitioned over to Google Plus Hangouts. We've got Heather Havenwood with us. We're going to talk about it primarily. If anybody else wants to come up, they're welcome. This will be the podcast. We just had a nice discussion on Blab, so if you go to Meet the Voter, meetthevoter.com at episode 35, you can see all the fun that we had and watch the video. So this is on a podcast. Heather, welcome. You look good. You look amazing.
No, I don't, but thank you.
And
so
you
I'm
sound
curious,
good, too.
How did you do that? How did you put the Google Hangouts inside the Blab? How did you call it?
Well, since you've been on Meet the Voter, you will get the class. You'll have the free class.
Oh, okay, good.
You'll have the class. We'll be that'll be in the class. I've already written the class. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to it's actually should be feeding over here. They change stuff all the time. Let me see what's going on.
So should I close out Blab?
No, stay there. Yeah, go ahead and close out Blab. I am frustrated. Why didn't that? It does something different every time here. So click to view, and it brings you over into the click to view thing. Let me try this again. So I'm going to put this link over here. See, why are we getting this like this? Copy, paste.
Okay, something just happened. You sound better.
I will sound better. I'll test it here. I'm just trying to get this to work right on the Dropbox. Sometimes they change stuff all the time. Access is denied. Why is that? Because we're live. It shouldn't be. So paste. I'm still trying to get this to work over on the other side. I shouldn't be recording this right now, unfortunately. Access denied. Stay there, Heather. Heather, you went down. Come on back up. Hi, Mike.
I'm here. I'm just turning off my mic for just 1 second. My camera for just 1 second.
Blab is having a problem right now on the. For some reason, it is not doing what it's supposed to do. It's weirdly. That's the first. So let me see if I can close that down. And we're going to drop this in here. I'm going to try a different link. You're not supposed to use this link, but I'm going to try this link, see what happens. Easily, you should be able to simulcast here. It's not. Click to view. No. It's dropping a link, but not actually. Let me try this one more time. And then we'll just focus on. What should happen is you should be able to watch the streaming video over on Blab, but it's not doing its due diligence. Oh, now it is. It's working now. So we'll turn off. So I just muted this, mute myself. So if you go over in Blab again, you'll see yourself on Blab right now. It's
Oh
kind
my
of cool.
God.
You can see yourself on Blab. So we're live streaming on Blab, folks, and anyone can join us. And Mike, you're there. Mike ran away. Mike can come up and say hi too.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mike. And Heather's there. So what we're going to do here, we're live streaming over.
Can you hear me on the Google Hangout?
Yep. We're on the Google Hangout. What's really nice is over on Blab, we're getting credit for watches on YouTube from all the people that come through on Blab. So if you go back to Blab and look at Blab, you'll see yourself there. You just don't want to listen; it'll confuse you. So it's best to stay off. What I do is I go ahead and I mute myself. I mute the sound so I can't hear it on myself, and I also mute it on the YouTube. So you should be able to hear it on YouTube. Can you hear it on YouTube?
I'm hearing a feedback, and
It's because it's coming off of. Go and shut down your Blab.
Okay, now even though I muted Blab, I'm still.
If you muted the video on Blab, if you mute yourself and the video, you shouldn't get any feedback. If you got to mute yourself.
There you go. I had to mute you and the video.
Heather, can you see that too? Are you on Blab too?
I just closed it out.
Yeah, it's better to completely close it out. So I'll leave mine up, and we'll shut that down there. And I'm only leaving one window. You got to really be careful with windows in Blab. So we're watching live, and people can listen to us. People can actually leave comments, and I can still look at the comments. So I'm going to say taking comments, still taking comments, still taking. So I'm going to do a quickie with Heather, Mike.
Okay.
You can stay on if you want to.
I was just kind of curious to play with this. Now let's see. Whoops, value entered is not. I tried to
log off of this, Mike. Just go and watch it and listen to it on Blab. You can stay on.
I was just going to try to add a It says, "Oops, value entered is not a valid source."
What are you trying to enter? See, we have 6 viewers right now.
It won't let me enter a comment. It says the comment tracker.
Why are you trying to do it on Blab or?
No, on Google Hangout.
On Google Hangout, it should. You should be able to go into the chat.
Yeah, because I'm just putting in test, and then I click add.
I just put one in, test.
It says, "Whoops, value
add." Test, and it worked.
Okay, but it's not letting me.
My
Let
battery's
me tell you what
dying.
you need, Mike. I know what you need. You need to go into Chrome. You need to update your Chrome browser, and that will solve the problem. Reinstall your Chrome browser because of the Google Plus Hangout. It's a plugin issue. So if you don't get your lower third, it's a plugin issue. Let me see if I can get my lower third, because they did an upgrade just 2 days ago, and you got to get your lower third in. So if you have a Hangout toolbox, that needs to be updated too. So we'll do that afterward. Everyone needs to update their Hangout toolbox. You got to allow your Hangout toolbox, and that's good. And let's see if I can get my upper thirds in here. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to put my lower third in. So I updated mine. It just worked. It didn't work the other day, but you have to update everything, sort of rerun your Hangout, your Google Toolbox, and all that. And Heather, we are going to do a podcast here. Just give me a second. Let's see. Let me put in here the.
All right, well, I'm going to jump off of Google Hangouts.
So if you reload you play your app, oops, what'd that do? I don't want to choose the logo.
Now, where am I going? Am I going to find that in settings?
So save. Custom overlay on. Save. So I should have my custom overlay is not working either. You have things you should put in there: Hangout toolbox, you should Hangout control panel, and just put those things in your system. They are having a little bit of problems. They're fixing them right now with the overlays. They're asking for a logo here, which I'm not putting a logo. Color's good. So.
Oh, I just clicked something. Okay, I see. Wait a minute. Let me try.
But this is Google is going. Actually, Google is a very good tool.
There you go. Now I'm. There was a little red number next to my chat on the left, and all I did was click that, and
yeah,
now
I see. I got you.
I'm able to comment. So I must be updated.
So anyway, yeah, it's working. That's the future. That's one of the techniques that are working. It works pretty well. I saw someone yesterday put a podcast loop on and over for about 12 hours on the Blab, but they didn't get many people watching their podcast. You know, it's amazing. At one time, we had 660 people watching our Blab or go through our Blab, and we had almost 3,000 replays. That was right after the attack in France. And now look at us in Blab. We got 23 people today. 4 people are still watching. It's really changed. It has really changed. So anyway, Mike, I'm going to boot you off, okay?
Okay.
Just do Heather and me.
I'm going to jump out of.
And go back to Blab. Mike, go back to Blab. Heather, a couple seconds of silence. Hey, folks, welcome to episode 35. We are on, actually, Google Plus Hangout today, and we're also doing a simulcast on Blab, and we have Heather from the great state of Texas, and she's having a good time down there. You've been doing some swimming in the floods? Heather, can I hear you? Oh, Heather, you don't hear me. I should have said what? Heather, if you can hear me, stick up your thumb. Heather, you got to go up in the top into settings and make sure the right microphone is on. Heather, come back. Heather, come back. We have lost Heather, folks. We have lost Heather, and hopefully she comes back on the other side. Heather, what'd you do? We had Heather, and we lost Heather. So we'll get her back on. There she is. Oh, we got a new Heather. We got a new profile for Heather. Hey, Heather, what happened? Heather, you on a new profile?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
You're on a different profile altogether.
Yes.
So let's keep on. Let's start the show again.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. A 1 and a 2. Welcome to Meet the Voter, meetthevoter.com, episode 35. Today we have Heather Havenwood on, and we just finished up a blab where we had a good conversation with Jonathan Deadwood and Mike Sheehan, and we are simulcasting also over on Google, our blab. Heather, let's talk about your strong Trump supporter. He had a rough week. What do you think he did wrong?
Well, the Trump University case specifically, we were talking about it. And, I've been in that particular industry, the information marketing system industry, for many, many years. And I know that the media is having a field day and they're trying to spin it that it's this horrible university and people are taking advantage of people. It's not like that at all. It's actually it's called a real estate seminar, and they're going on right now as we speak today, and they have been for years. And what that looks like is people come to an event and then they say, hey, we can teach you how to buy and sell real estate, make money like Donald Trump or whomever, and people buy $3,000, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000, $30,000 worth of seminars, and that's their choice. And so what happened back in 2001 through 2006, there was this field day of them. Why? Because I was in that business. I was traveling the country working for many of the seminar companies. And so I'm trying to explain to you, I think, that why the media is having a field day here, and why I think Trump did what I call a bad move. So anyway, what happened in 2005 or 2004 is a Utah company, because a ton of them out of Utah, reached out to Trump and said, hey, we have all these seminars. We have this big list of people that want to, learn how to make money in real estate. Can we just use your name? Can we just use your name, or whatever the deal is they made up? And he's like, sure. And that was right at the beginning of 2005. Now you understand 2006, 2007 was the drop. So they started late. It's like bad timing for Trump. And so he went on his merry way and focused on his business, and they got to use his name and his expertise and his authority. And then, whatever happened is that basically the real estate market went to shit. So people started freaking out. They had $30,000 to spend on seminars, and the next month they know their house went from, worth of $300,000 to $100,000. I mean, people have to understand what was happening at the time of that company. And so then with that, and so this week when he said things about the Trump University, a lot of this stuff is true. It's one, they shouldn't be suing him personally. They should be suing the company. The company is in Utah. It's not even him. They trademarked his name.
It's the LLC that they're suing.
Yeah, well, one of the ones I saw is actually direct to Donald Trump, not the LLC.
Yeah, because there's quite a few lawsuits.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just think it's interesting that people don't really understand the industry and what was going on at the time. So I think that it's unfortunate that this particular lawsuit's coming out at this time, almost 10, 12 years later. I think it's a smear campaign. However, to his offense, and Donald Trump, I don't think he should have brought up the fact that the judge was Mexican. I just think it was like a bad move. You know what I mean? Total PR flump. Yeah. It like had no relevancy. He could attack him for his particular views are on the bench, but I don't think adding a heritage to a judge is going to help.
You need to bring out the facts. Just talk about
bring out the facts, because and maybe explain the industry and what happened and what really, what really happened. And I remember, I think the Megyn Kelly show talked about there was this huge refund rate of like 30 to 40%. And this is so huge. It's not huge. That's called buyer's remorse, and it's normal in the seminar industry. We actually look at those numbers of like the average is 30% refund rate, because people get excited. Oh my God, I'm going to make all this money in real estate, and then they buy this seminar, and then they go to the first day and they go, oh, I can't do this. It's too much.
Well, actually what they were teaching initially, I read a little bit about 2004 or 5 and all. So the people who started in 2004 and 5 actually were told to go out and just write contracts for new homes. And
back then that was real
contracts.
This back then you could literally breathe on a contract and flip it.
Right.
But remember, he didn't have control of what was being said. I mean, I worked for a company that the company actually had the right to use Robert Allen Institute. And I promise you, Robert Allen didn't know that what we were putting in there. So I think it's just a matter of understanding how the industry works.
With that, we're going to go to a break, because I'll take out this in the podcast. We're going to break. So watch what I have to do. Bring them in. Come on. My daughter, come on. You going to gymnastics today? Hey, meet Joanna. Oh, she's going to the Aces. She's performing today at the ballpark.
Hi.
Come say hi.
Come say hi.
Folks. Come on, say hi. Come here. Come here. Come here. You got to say hi.
I'm trying to say hi.
She's like shy. There she is. Hey, she won the Manhattan Classic this year. Hold her. So she's going to go walk our dog, but we got something new for Teddy, the puppy. Bring Teddy.
Aww.
So I've got to put this on. No. We're on a break.
Sit.
That's okay.
So
I'll let you.
we have to leave at 11:30, don't we, on that?
No.
Okay, so this goes like this. Teddy, no. He's usually, there he goes. We're training him. And we're actually doing an online course too with a trainer, building it. Okay.
Okay,
Go.
how do you connect
Now
that
you
to
take
the-
this. You go down here. This connects into here. And you're going to walk him on this side over here, left side. And this goes here. So, and then this goes on this little thing right here. Okay, there you go. Bye, Teddy. Have a nice
Come
walk.
on, Teddy, listen.
So we're done with our break. Oh, Heather's gone. Hey, thanks, folks, for my break there. We will edit this out of the podcast. Hey, couple of things while we're on a break with Heather. Let's see. We can put some commercials in here. Let me talk first about Jonathan, who's on the show. He has a couple really good products. He's got WP-Tonic, which is our tech show, which is WordPress. And he has a product that's a maintenance product for business. And basically it maintains maintains their WordPress site for a lot less than maybe your developer would maintain it for. So they take over WordPress sites and they have professionals and developers for about $50 a month. And it's done on quantity. And they fix 2 or 3 things and they'll actually do some modifications to the site. So it's about $50 a month. He also uses with that something called DigitalOcean, which is SSL. So that's a very powerful system. It's really designed for the small business owner, somebody who's going to invest. It's going to cost you minimum $600 plus servicing, probably cost you about $1,000 a year. But you're going to have the first-rate top WordPress sites running, even if you develop somewhere else. And he does quite a few of those. That's his main business. The thing he has is a SaaS product for real estate agents, which is nice. It's a little thing that puts information on the on your Facebook site for you automatically as a real estate agent. That said, that's what Jonathan does. So a little commercial for Jonathan on the break. And we can also share screens. Heather, let's come off the break, but give you a commercial too.
Oh, great.
Stop for a
Thanks.
second. Let me come off the break. Okay, we're coming off the break and Heather is back. We had to take a little break there to hook up the puppy to go walk, and Heather took a break too. Heather, coming back, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and what you do.
Sure, no problem. So my name is Heather Havenwood, heatherhavenwood.com, sexybossinc.com. I have a book out called Sexy Boss. And basically, I am a business coach and marketing coach, but I, help businesses grow. I work with a company called Skinny Beam, Capital Chiropractic, E2 Lab, companies that I help them with their marketing, how they can increase revenue, how they can work less and make more, especially with recurring income. So, but I've been doing online marketing since 2006, 2007. And I have a book out called Sexy Boss, How the Empowerment of Women is Changing the Rule Book for Money, Success, and Sex. And you can go ahead and text the word sexy to 72,000. Text the word sexy to 72,000 here in the United States, and you can get 3 free chapters of my book.
Very good. And what I do is I'm just building online training programs. You know how we talked earlier in the other show about the sleaze of MLMs online
Yes.
and all the different things? There are a lot of ripoffs. I'm just trying to
Yes.
build a credible, good product online that teaches people to podcast and also join a community for $97 period, not $1,000 or this and that, and just keep it open and not try to get rich off it, but slowly build it. And I'm also doing an online dog training course with a trainer. So I'm doing that. That's sort of my side hustle. My other business that I do, other than the writing and the podcasting, all that, my real business I do outside the United States and in Washington, believe it or not. But in a month or so, I'll tell you what my next mission is all about.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to be in Washington, and it's not going to be outside the United States.
Ooh.
That said, let's get back to the show real fast and sort of finish up this podcast.
Okay.
Heather, it's good to have you gone. We had a good dialogue, and we talked about what's going on right now with the primaries coming up. So let's look at the primary. Let's look at what we think the outcomes will be. So you don't mind, let me talk about my outcomes, let you talk about yours. I think if nothing happens now, Hillary will probably win the California. If she doesn't win the California, it's going to really be an upset. It's going to be a surprise long term, but they're calling this Hillary's last stand.
because I personally believe, I don't personally believe, I just, well, it's my opinion based on all the facts and the information that I know from what I've done, is she's got to go down for this FBI and this FBI investigation. The State Department put out information that will take her down if if the FBI comes to the same conclusions. So that's going to take her down. The Democrat Party is going to be in chaos. I think if Bernie Sanders gets the nomination, Trump may well lose because people like Bernie Sanders. And as you know, full disclosure, I'm a conservative Republican. I don't like the establishment, the oligarchy. I will be supporting Trump, even though I'd like to go the libertarian direction, but I was supporting Trump right now as it stands, unless he does horrendous things like he did this week and continues to bash people for their race or religion. Race. And the other thing I really have difficulties with him is when he talks about bombing civilians. It's a war crime, period. So that said, Heather, that's where I am. Tell us what you think is going to happen on this primary. Again, I think Hillary may win, but between now and the conventions, the FBI report probably will come out or something's going to happen that really puts her in a bad light, and she probably won't get the nomination.
So I have to say that the thing about Hillary, I want to bring up is the woman, I call the woman card of Hillary. She's been using that card and hasn't gotten very far. What I find fascinating to me as a female, I have zero respect for her as a female. I don't
No, I don't have any respect for her.
I have zero respect for her. But there's a level of people like, oh, well, she'll be a great female because she's a female. And it's like, the fact that she is a female, it's almost like I don't want her president, mainly because of who she's been for the, since whatever, 2000, whenever, when was 99, 2000, whenever Bill Clinton was in office. I just don't like who she is as an integrity of a person. The thing about Trump that I say that people are resonating with, good and bad, is there's some I don't know, he's saying the truth. Now, truth, good or bad?
There's always
there's an element to have a conversation about if this truth is good or bad. But at least you kind of know what you're getting. With Hillary, it's like she has so many hands in other people's pockets that it's almost ridiculous to me that she even says she has a say, she actually has a view on anything, because everything that comes out of her mouth was bought on some level. The other thing that I think that you skipped over to this week that I found fascinating was Donald Trump about the veterans. And how he did give the money to the veterans, and how he stood up there in a public space and literally put out every single vet company or veterans organization he gave to, how much, who it was, and even said one of them hasn't gotten yet because they haven't gotten the papers back. Like, he was very specific. And here's the piece that I found interesting about that. You never hear the Clinton Foundation doing that, ever. We don't even know what the Clinton Foundation does. And it's been stated and shown that based on how much money they bring in, they only give 10% of the current money coming in, donations, quote unquote, payoffs, as I call it. Okay, they actually go to anything organizationally. So we talked about things that didn't go well with Trump this week. I think you overstepped that. That was a huge thing for Trump to say, yeah, I 5.6 million, and here's where the money went. Now let's go ahead. Go ahead, Clinton. Let's go.
It's tough to run a campaigns. I'm actually working some backsides of campaigns right now for state senate. Really good. One thing we do is we produce flyers and mailers. We had 30,000 pieces go out this week, but it's really tough on the candidates right now. They don't sleep a lot. There's a lot of stress, and they do stupid stuff. But that said, this is Trump's first time in light doing what he's had to go through.
Right.
But you said some very good points, and we forgot to talk a little bit about. He's donating $1 million of his own money. It's about 6 million, close to 6 million, 5.4 or whatever it is. And that money is there and it is going out. And that's more than the Clintons or anybody else has done. That's for sure.
Yeah. I've never heard a president.
He's upset. He's trying to do something good and he's getting pounded.
He's getting pounded for doing good. But just to go to your question, yes, California, I think Bernie is going to slide it out. He's going to slide it out on a majority vote. Now, delegates, I don't even know how that stuff works with the Democratic Party.
Super delegates are what's messing him over. I mean, if he could win like 2/3 of the super delegates back, he might win. I mean, it's
So
not.
I think he will probably win it out, and it's going to freak out the Democratic Party because this was supposed to be her year. That's why you didn't have a surgence of Democratic candidates come out. They all backed down because it was this underlying conversation like, hey, this is Hillary's time. And so I think that just shows to him her manipulation. And so the only candidacy that, that came out that said, well, I'm not part of really that group of the inner circle, Bernie. He comes out, well, I don't care what they say, and so he's a real threat to her. And I feel that California is a very interesting state. It's very democratic, as you said. You pointed out they pretty much own it. But I think the one thing that was overstepped to this week specifically is about the fact that he gave money to the veterans.
Yeah.
And he was clear about it. Not just, we gave money to 22 groups. No, here's the groups.
I thought he got the raw deal on that.
He really did.
But he's not normal. Like, he called out the reporters, and that's not just normal. I mean, I like Reagan. I'm a Reagan Republican at heart. I mean, I was a young lieutenant and first lieutenant and captain under Reagan, and he's my guy. And we haven't had really great leadership since. Now, that said, I want to address something before we finish up.
Sure.
I'm still up on Blab, and I would like you to flip over to Blab in a few minutes, not now. But I'm watching the comments on Blab, and Floyd for Kale, which is probably election, asked something and said, so you're still going to, so I'm going to read it. So you're supporting a fascist just because he's GOP. Isn't that the definition of an establishment Republican? Let me tell you, I think Hillary is so dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous and such a liar, and she should be in jail, that I can't go with that. I've said that I could possibly vote Libertarian, but I absolutely can, like Newt Gingrich, I cannot support Hillary Clinton. She is, I had to deal with her administration overseas and what I did, and some of the organizations and people, and I saw what happened. I saw what happened in Benghazi. I saw the lies to the American people. She's a liar. I trust, even though Trump says crazy things, he says what he believes, I think, at the time. I can't trust Hillary one iota. And that's why I cannot support Hillary if she wins. That's why I said, I think if Bernie actually gets the nomination, even though I despise socialism, I think he's going to win. I think he'll be the president, because a lot of people like this guy and they trust him. At least he's saying the socialist things that he likes. And I think he could beat Trump. Not Hillary, though. I think there's just too much baggage with Hillary, unless Trump continues to do what he did this week.
Yeah, but see, Trump is the kind of person that will apologize. If he wanted to, he could apologize and clean it up and go, oh, here's why. And everyone will go, okay, I like him now again. At least he's real. Hillary, I think at this point, she's obviously, I'm saying things y'all know. She's a career politician. She's very much bought at this point. There is no truth to her as a politician, like what she truly believes. It's more like, hey, who paid us what? So we need to say whatever we need to say. And it's the ultimate of politicians. So I think she also knows where the bodies are buried. I hope to God she is put in, that she is, I guess, indicted. Or
I think she will be.
But I don't see it happening while Obama is in presidency. He's got they have something. There's something.
There's too many people out there that know. There's just too many.
Yeah, there's just.
You can't hide this. This cannot, when the FBI presents their report, it cannot be hidden, period.
The only way to do that is they have to do it after January or after November, or I don't know.
I'm just surprised, what the State Department put out is damning in itself, and it doesn't resonate with a lot of people how damning that is. Hey, with that, I want to finish up the podcast over here in Google Plus Hangout. Do me a favor, go back. I'm going to put the link in here. Go back into Blab, and Bob is on the side. See if we can get him to come up, and I'm going to put this in the notes, the Blab link. So you can go back to Blab, log in.
You're putting in the comments.
I put in the comments on the Google Plus Hangout. Go back into Blab. And I thank you for coming on today. It's good to see you. We'll see if we can get Bob to come up. Bob, come on up over here. Let me turn my sound off here. And thank you, folks. And you got the Blab link?
I do.
Okay. I'll see you over on the other side. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Heather, come on up.